Hey, good evening, everyone. First things first, check it out. I'm vaccinated now. Got got my sticker, got my card. Apparently, I'm supposed to hold on to this motherfucker so they know which batch I'm getting. I did get the Moderna vaccine, and like I said, I got the Moderna vaccine because, well, it was either for me. I didn't have a choice of the Pfizer vaccine because of how small my town is. That we've only got we had like the public health place, and I think maybe the hospital. Well, not the hospital, but yeah, maybe the hospital. Like for when you go in for something else, so then they just poke you. Doctor's office, same deal. But if you're going in just to get a COVID shot, you go into the public health spot. But that was what we did, and it was actually kind of funny because my girlfriend was in there with me. We both got the shot together. Well, not the same shot. It was like I was in the room and then she was in the room. But when I was in there, they like kind of had the door open enough for me to talk, and I'm a bit of a loud motherfucker. So what I did was I was asking questions. I was reading the terms and conditions in there because no, it's not FDA approved because of how fast they had to push through red tape. But they pushed through red tape. They didn't push through health and safety guidelines. They've been working on this motherfucker since SARS back probably when I was in high school. I think that's when SARS was. Yeah, it was. It was. SARS was happening when I was in high school because I remember I used to donate plasma, and that was one of the questions I asked you. So they've been working on this thing since SARS. So it wasn't like something new. It was just something we hadn't needed up until now. And I was talking about like the type of vaccine, the fact that it's an RNA vaccine. And I kind of think that the person giving me the shot was just like basically being paid to stab people, because I was in there like not only asking questions but explaining as well. And she's like, wow, you definitely looked into this. So yeah, it was important to me. But when they said that they had the Johnson and Johnson or the Moderna, I was just like, when can I schedule the second Moderna shot? Well, I want to let them know I didn't want nothing to do with that fucking Johnson and Johnson vaccine. That goddamn thing feel like it get delivered in a clown car. But so I was in there for about 10 minutes. She was in there for about 1.5, 2. And I was analyzing, I was basically analyzing everything as I was checking it out. I wanted to know exactly how I was feeling. I wanted to have something to report to you so that you would know what I went through for side effects. Now, my girlfriend Crystal, she had a big red spot on her arm, but she didn't have like the cognitive side effects that I did. Like within about probably 3 to 5 minutes, I started feeling a bit lightheaded and like my feet felt fluffy, and I did lose a little. I was cognitively impaired for a little bit. I think there might have been some herb in that Moderna. There might have been. I might have got the good batch. So, yeah, I had some dry mouth. I had that feeling like when your mouth kind of feels like rubber when you just wake up from surgery. And my right eye kept wanting to go inside. Like, I'd be looking off this way, my right eye wanting to drift off that way. Those were my side effects. And the right eye drifting anytime, like, that happens if I drink too much. So, no, it was all manageable. I went to work through it. So it wasn't terrible at all. It was you definitely know it's there. And my arm still hurts, and it was like every time I went to go pick up something, it was like, oh, God damn it. So, yeah, your arm's going to hurt for at least the first day. I don't know how long it's going to hurt. But also, the side effects aren't going to be the same for everybody. Like, I didn't get a red mark at all. So, some people are going to get certain side effects, some people are going to get certain others, but it's all right. Our main story today, Barbara Starr, I believe. I believe we're talking about Barbara Starr. She didn't do nothing wrong. What had happened was the DoJ under the Trump administration back in 2017 pulled a bunch of journalist emails. Some of them were from, I believe it was the Washington Post. And then there was pulling Starr's personal, not her personal, but her individual files. She was not the target of the attack. But what had happened was they went to this journalist and they got her emails. Who had been sending her emails? Who had been contacting her? Who had been sending her phone calls? And what the contents of it was. People are still surprised, like professionals are surprised how this was able to get through. Because this is extremely dangerous to our First Amendment. And I'll explain why. You see, reporters rely on sources. They rely on defectors. They rely on whistleblowers. They rely on people that are close and personal to the target of the story. Some sources would rather remain anonymous for their safety or for the safety of their families. However, even though the source is anonymous, the reporter still knows who they are. Because a reporter will probably not use anonymous information unless it is facts and evidence that can be verified without the informant, the source there. Like just a stack of paperwork for you to do the research on. Here's all the clues you need. That's probably the only time a journalist will work with somebody who is completely anonymous. So these email transcripts and these phone conversations, when they get leaked to the DOJ in this manner, because in this manner, Starr didn't even have a chance to defend herself from having her emails and phone calls investigated. She had no defense. She had no knowledge of it. They just came in and got the shit, found it. So, if you're reporting on the president, and if the president has the power to find your sources, then your sources aren't going to want to talk to you. So we lose information. We lose knowledge when we let the DOJ perform these bullshit investigations just in order to see who is saying what to which reporter. And if we have a country where people are afraid to tell where people are afraid to tell their journalists, reporters, news anchors, if we don't feel like we can safely talk to the news, then the news is just going to say whatever the president wants it to say. And we then no longer have media, we have propaganda. So, the actions that the actions that Trump took, flat out, line for line, the actions that Trump took would have done more to create fake news than any of the fake news that he has claimed without any evidence. That's authoritarianism. When the government tells the news what to say about the government, we no longer have news. Y'all take care. I'm going to figure out how to get these downloaded. I downloaded a few of them the other day, but I was having trouble with last night's video. If I can figure it out, I'm going to upload them both so that you can catch your replays and have fun in the comments at your own time instead of my time. But everybody have a great night, and I'll be around.